Hello everyone, and thank you for checking out my video. Doing something different today. Instead of my typical build guides, this is more of a weapon showcase, showing the capabilities of a specific weapon, as well as showing some in-game scenarios or situations that may not be related to the said weapon. For today's showcase, we'll be looking at the primary weapon, the Diligence Counter Sniper. It recently got a buff from the last patch where the damage was increased from 128 to 140 and an improvement to its ergonomics. I joined a squad full of randos for an operation in Mentkent, a planet in automaton control. I called in my Quasar and immediately took out an illegal broadcast. Things were starting to get busy as I tried to get used to the new ergonomics of the counter sniper. It is significantly better. Taking down Devastators became less trivial. One shot to the head was all it needed. As for the heavy Devastators with the Gatling guns, if you don't have a clear shot of their head, 6 to 8 shots on their backpack were more than enough to neutralize them. N2 was already out of stims. We didn't have the best start of the mission, but I didn't mind sharing some of mine. Granted, he got a resupply right next to me. Me and N2 headed to the marked objective, but V3 ordered us to go to the next one since they are almost done with the first. While heading to the next objective, N2 came across a small patrol. I provided him supporting fire to the best of my abilities. At least I got the biggest threat, and N2 was able to clean up. I started my push on the objective. A couple of Striders and heavy Devastators. Should be easy enough. My overconfidence got the better of me. Never go out in the open like that, always look for cover. After the jammer was disabled, I dropped in and headed back to my objective. Now V3 was with me and brought in an unwanted +1.
Reinforcing.
Once I had retrieved the first SSD, I marked the drop-off as my next destination, since it was closer compared to the second SSD. I managed to pick up my Quasar along the way. While heading towards the drop, V3 was doing the SAM site secondary objective, and a bot was able to flare for reinforcements. I dropped the SSD in my hand and provided support. I managed to destroy the heatsink of the Hulk, but it wasn't enough to kill it. V3 went down. In hindsight, I should have switched to my Quasar, but I don't think it would have charged fast enough to save V3. I called in reinforcement next to me. I made sure to clean up the Devastators before leaving for the drop-off. After dropping off the SSD, I went back to meet up with my squad.
Dropping a pin. South, 300 meters.
When I came close to my squad, they were engaging the enemy. I went behind cover and took out the Devastators. I knew the Quasar wasn't enough to take down a Hulk from the front, but it would still do damage. While T1 had the Hulk's attention, I went to its flank, threw a stun grenade, and mag dumped on its heatsink. Its lights turned off and exploded. I also killed Devastator Jesus. Now, I didn't know what orbital my squad made through until it hit me. Using a barrage on a single Hulk is questionable, until I realized my squad were between level 10 and 20. They are not green, but still lack the experience for a suicide mission. But if they are willing to learn, then you won't hear me complaining.
south, 300 meters.
With all that talk of experience, I also have a lot to learn. Sadly, the squad was wiped due to a factory strider.
Reinforcements on the way.
I landed on top of the factory strider, hoping to destroy its main cannon.
Ready to
I
liberate.
guess it wasn't enough. A rocket knocked me down the strider. It spawned more Devastators. I threw stun grenades and went behind cover. Luckily, the strider was looking for my squad.
Reinforcing!
Due to having friendlies, including me in the area, I tried using stratagems that would lessen friendly fire, since we're also running out of reinforcements.
Calling down a support weapon! Calling in reinforcements!
My squad mates had a different idea.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
After all of that, I managed to stick my way to retrieve the second SSD and a jump pack that was lying on the ground. I reached the final objective to start the data transfer. Whatever data SCAF wanted from this drive, I hope it was worth it. My guess, it is porn. When you are in this kind of situation, zero reinforcement, stealth is your best friend. My squad managed to meet up at the main objective. A patrol was heading our way once the data was fully uploaded, and extraction is now available. After neutralizing the patrol, we lost T3. Now we're heading off for extraction. It wasn't a long jog. At extraction, there were still automaton fabs we needed to handle, as well as bots. They just keep coming.
Calling in reinforcements! Calling in extraction!
Extraction request confirmed. Shuttle inbound.
I took up the high ground and started blasting.
New mag! Bots, north. Sending in an eagle!
ETA T-minus 2 minutes.
Keep liberty.
New mag!
Eagle 1 rearming.
Allied destroyer joining squadron. Deploying Helldiver.
A minute and 40 until Pelican 1 arrives, and I'm running out of supplies. I have no idea where they call the supply drop. I wish SEAF would give the budget to put a tracker on the supply pods so it would show up in the map.
Allied destroyer leaving squadron.
A Hulkbuster was coming our way along with its friends. I had a present waiting for him. Unfortunately, it blew up in my face. Another learning experience. Things were not looking good for us. I'm out of stims and grenades, but I can still fight.
This is Pelican 1. I have visual on the extraction zone.
Pelican 1 had finally arrived. I provided covering fire for my squad and drew the attention of the heavy Devastators. After killing one, I immediately headed to Pelican 1, dodging bullets and rockets.
Never mind. Southwest.
Countdown initiated. Stand
I
by for
dove
takeoff.
into the safety of Pelican 1. I saw N2 getting knocked down by a rocket, but managed to pick himself up and got into the Pelican. All three of us extracted. The mission was already a success the moment we have done the main objective. Extraction was just a bonus.